Hi everyone, I'm Sahar and welcome to this short session on effective customer communication. If you've ever had to calm down a frustrated guest or explain something to the tenth time in the day, this session is for you. We'll talk about how to make those everyday conversations smoother, friendlier, and more memorable for your guests. Here's what we are going to cover today. We'll start with a few key principles of great communication, things like listening and empathy that really makes a difference. Then we'll look at how to handle guests' complaints in a way that turns problems into opportunities. You'll also see some real life scenarios and learn a few magic phrases that instantly make your interactions more positive. By the end, you'll feel more confident and ready to handle any situation that comes your way. You know, communication is what makes or breaks a guest's experience. Sometimes it's not even about the problem, it's about how we respond to it. A frustrated guest can walk away loyal and grateful if we feel if they feel heard and cared for. That's why good communication isn't just a soft skill, it's a superpower in hospitality. So, what does effective communication looks like? It really comes down to four things: active listening, empathy, positive language, and clarity. Let's start with active listening. This means really paying attention, not just hearing the words, but understanding the message behind them. Maintain eye contact, nod, show that you're engaged. And when they finish speaking, repeat or summarize what they said. It shows you care and helps avoid misunderstandings. Then we have empathy. Before jumping into a solution, pause and acknowledge their feelings. Something like, I understand how that must feel. It can completely shift the tone of the conversation. Next up is positive language. Try swiping that's not possible, it's not my problem for something like let's see what we can do. It's a small change, but it turns a wall into a bridge. And finally, clarity and consciousness. Keep things simple, avoid jargon, and make sure your message is easy to follow. Guests don't want long explanations, they just want clear answers. I know it can be tricky in moments to find the right words, so here are some go to phrases that always works well. I understand your concern. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. Let's find the best solution together. They're short, polite, and they make guests feel respected and included in the solution. Alright, let's imagine this. A guest walks up to the front desk. They're upset because their booking can't be found. You have two choices here. You could say, that's not my problem, which only adds fuel to the fire. Or you could take a breath, smile, and say, I completely understand you're frustrated. Let's fix this together. That second approach immediately calms the situation. You're showing empathy and teamwork rather than defensiveness. Here's another example. Let's say a guest seems confused about where breakfast is served. You could just say, breakfast is served from 7 to 10. But a more welcoming approach would be, I'd be happy to guide you to breakfast area. That one small difference makes your guests feel cared for, not just informed. The next one is classic. Guest says, my room isn't clean. A poor response would be, that's not my job. you'll have to call housekeeping. But a better one would sound like, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'll contact housekeeping right away. We'll get this sorted for you. Noticing the difference, you're taking ownership and showing empathy. That's what builds trust. The truth is, every complaint is a chance to shine. That's your moment to show the guest that you care. Use empathetic language, take ownership of the issue, and offer a calm, clear solution. When guests see you genuinely trying to help, even in a bad experience, it can turn into a positive one. Let's test your instincts with a quiz. What is the first step in a guest communication? Provide a solution, listen, or ask them to calm down? Yes, if you said listen, you're right. Always start there. And what's a good empathy phrase? It's not my problem. Nope. You shouldn't have done that. Definitely not. I understand your concern. Yes, that's the one. Take a second to think about it. Which tip are you going to try first in your next guest interaction? Maybe you'll focus on listening more carefully or using positive words. Pick one small thing to practice today. Those little changes add up fast. And that's it. You've officially completed the module on effective customer communication. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being present, empathetic, and clear. Keep practicing those four principles every day, and you'll keep turning good services into great experiences. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts, what worked for you, what you'd like to see more of, or how this training helped. Your feedbacks helps us grow, just like great communication helps our guests feel valued. See you next time.